Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back here on Nascar, and I'm here to talk about some of the NASCAR news today, because there's actually a little bit to talk about. Coming out of the COTA weekend, tons of stuff here. So, Chase Briscoe and JGR's appeal was heard today, and they win their appeal. Yeah, of course they do, because they're a JGR car. But they win their appeal of their penalty issued after that Daytona 500 for holes in the spoiler base being altered. Yeah, because they totally didn't do that themselves. His 100-point penalty, his 100 points are restored, and no suspension to James Small, and no fine to the team. Cool, now give Kligerman his win back. This gets overturned, but Kligerman's is without. But Kligerman's isn't. Okay. So whoever bribes NASCAR more gets to avoid penalty. So Briscoe wins his appeal. I guess NASCAR JGR must have bribed NASCAR with money. The penalty and appeals process is just made for drama and stuff to talk about during the week, I guess. But maybe they just got a fluky template. But I wouldn't be surprised if JGR and Bass Pro had something to do with this being overturned. But they get their 100 points back. Whatever. It's just... It's just... I swear, teams never win these appeals, but JGR somehow does. But I guess I don't know, but the car pass inspection was legal, but when taken apart, it looked like they were modifying something, and they weren't allowed to. Not that it gave them an advantage. In reality, I guess it just worn out from use, but the panel wide overturned the penalty. They believe that the elongation, how do you say that word? I don't know. I'm not part of the nerd community. Makes me nerd talking. Bug Buddy 2 stick out. Of some of the holes on the number 19 Cup car spoiler base is caused by the process of attaching that specific spoiler base to the rear deck and not modification of the single source part. So every car should have the same issue? I don't know how nobody else has that issue. Honestly, at this point, NASCAR officiating, whatever. I just don't get the explanation here. Somehow 40 plus other teams managed to not screw that up, but they didn't get their penalty overturned, whatever. The panel was Motorsports Marketing Executive Dixon Johnson, former Speed Channel President Hunter Nikhil, former South Boston Speedway Jim Cathy Ross. Basically picking random people. Sounds about right. But this points reversal vaults Briscoe to a tie for 14th in the standings with 72 points. So he'll go up now to 14th in the point standings. Austin Cindric. NASCAR docks Austin Cindric 50 points, and they'll fine him $50,000 for turning Ty Dillon at COTA. I mean, I don't know. I guess no suspension because it's a old road courses are treated different. But I don't care what track it is, whether it's a high speed or a low speed track, it's still dangerous. They're just consistently inconsistent. No, Cindric doesn't normally do that, but if we're going off precedent, then should have been a suspension. Husqvarna done the same thing in Nashville last year. Should have been a suspension. Hook should never be okay. I don't care who it is. Should be a penalty. But NASCAR said no suspension because the driver was traveling at a slower pace on a road course versus an intermediate/super speedway. Ty had no significant impact or damage he was able to drive on. There was no caution. A one-race suspension did not feel appropriate. Ain't no way they judged on the severity of the incident after the whole garage, and the committee said a right hook is a right hook. I would counter with it should be the intent. But, I guess NASCAR just sucks at... Now, we all know they suck at judgment calls. But here we go, man. Picking and choosing again. I mean, I don't care what track it is. Suspend them a race. I mean, right hook is right hook. Now, we're just going to pick and choose when we give penalties. Just amazing precedent to say it. We're judging right rear hooks off of feelings now. So you should just right hook somebody to track. No penalty. That's the precedent. NASCAR setting. So, oh, it's a road course. Cedric right reared him on the straight. It was lower speeds. Yeah, over 100 miles an hour. Yeah, that's such a slow speed. Ew, it didn't draw a caution because you didn't throw one. These NASCAR clowns are terrible. We're trying to listen to the Hauler Talk podcast and just constantly being talked down to. I don't care if it's a slower track. Fuck it, penalty. Give him suspension. He deliberately wrecked him. It's not that hard to be consistent. I also believe what should be punished is the intention, not the result. Right here, right rear hook is right rear hook, and NASCAR has made it seem like that's unacceptable. Well, apparently it's going to be judged off of feelings. I mean, it's different turning somebody like a Cedric did at a road course versus a high-speed oval. But the intent to wreck them as retaliation is just still unacceptable. I mean, don't care. But yeah, 50-point penalty and 50-point penalty and $50,000 fine. Now we'll drop Cedric to 30. He will fall to 35th in the standings with 30 points, and he's 41 points out of 16. So yeah, there's those two news stories for today, and Cedric will not appeal that 50-point, 50K penalty. Even he knows he off easy. The Gregson and Reddick cars were good at R&D Tech. Larson team is expected to go 2 race suspensions. To the front tire changer and jackman for the wheel coming off, and so that's the only other penalty out of the COTA weekend. So the primary and harder tire and option softer tire, North Wilkesboro and Richmond 2 this weekend for Cup at Phoenix. Practice 1 harder set, 1 softer set, and qualifying 1 harder set. The race 6 harder sets, 2 softer sets, and qualifying carryover harder set. No requirement to use the option. Dude, we should just be using softer tires at all tracks. No more of this choosing bullshit. Just use the softer tires. I guess there's still some uncertainty. I don't know. So as part of the 2311 FRM NASCAR litigation, NASCAR has filed a counterclaim against 2311 Front Row Motorsports and 2311 co-owner Curtis Polk, alleging a conspiracy, an agreement, and unreasonable restraint of interstate trade and commerce, constituting a violation of Section 1 of the Sherman Act. Can they just take the L and move on? Like, and NASCAR and the France family still fighting. I thought they would just sit down and take the L. Actually, you're committing antitrust violations. It's probably NASCAR right now. The desperation is starting to get to NASCAR. They're just throwing shit at the wall and hope it sticks. Basically a countersuit. NASCAR's big mad, and they're basically just big mad. They're getting their asses kicked in court and basically issued a countersuit. NASCAR asked for injunction eliminating guaranteed starting spots for charter teams if counterclaim defendants persist in seeking to have the charter agreements declared as unlawful under the antitrust laws. NASCAR attorney Chris Yates. NASCAR doesn't need to have charters, but NASCAR believes the 2025 charter agreement is equitable and fair. Just get rid of the charter system. And NASCAR's alleged the way Curtis Polk went about trying to organize boycott during negotiations and other tactics and stuff like that. But just do away with charters, like, so we can just get so we're fucking done with this. And that's the latest update with that thing. So let's go over the Phoenix schedule again. 4:30 p.m. ARCA practice qualifying on Friday. At 8 p.m. on FS1, the ARCA race 150 laps. It's going to be in the 50s with a 55% chance of rain during the day. Bring NASCAR to town, you're going to get some rain. 20% chance of rain during the night. Saturday, it's going to be in the 60s with a 0% chance of rain. Also on the CW app, Xfinity practice qualifying at 11:32 p.m. On Prime, Cup practice and qualifying 4:30 in the CW NASCAR countdown. So on the CW, 4:30 is NASCAR countdown, 5 p.m. the Xfinity race in the CW. Sunday, 2 p.m. FS1 NASCAR race team at 3:30 in FS1. The Cup race will be in the 70s with a 0% chance of rain. It's unfortunate it's Phoenix weekend, but so Fox NASCAR at Coda delivered 4.1 million viewers. Kind of surprising for a road course. Kyle Larson will drive the Spire number 7 truck at Homestead, and Bristol William Byron will be in at Martinsville. So there's that. The ARC entry list got released for Phoenix. Don't really care to go over it all. There's so much to go over. But yeah, that's all I'm going to talk about for the NASCAR news. So yeah, next time I have a like, peace, leave a like, comment, subscribe, comment, subscribe for more on there. Chill.